Happy Monday. Hey, just want to talk real quick about perspective. I'll touch on perspective a whole lot because there's a lot that goes into perspective, and I don't think people realize how much it really does. You see, you'll have a person, or you could be the person feeling good about themselves. You know what I mean? And you're living your life out loud, living your life on purpose, with purpose, you know what I mean? And you're just doing what makes you feel good. Well, however, the things that you're doing, if they're visible, where others can see it, what you're doing, and the way you're doing it, it may make them want to question the way they're doing something. And their judgment is passed on you that you have nothing to do with, or, well, you have something to do with, but you know nothing about it. You know what I mean? So there you have just two perspectives, and from that, an infinite combination of that recurring perspective happening over and over and over again. And we got billions of people in this world. You know what I mean? So trust me, the combinations may seem endless at times. Now, in terms of perspective, understanding, comprehension and understanding. Remember I said this before, knowing something, and maybe you don't know, let me talk about it a little bit. Comprehension and understanding are the 2 points of knowing something. It's the what, then the why. All right? Now, if you have a disagreement between people, you know what I mean, and there's no getting past it, this is a problem. A lot of the times, it could be ironed out or sorted out right within, the perspective. Just getting a better perspective. Now, you'll have two individuals, one's screaming orange and the other one is screaming green. Well, where are they positioned? You see? Because if they're facing towards each other and they're saying, well, I know what I'm looking at, and the other one's saying the same thing, and that's just where it stops. But, seeing it the way you see it isn't the end all be all. Which one is going to break down the barrier by going to the other's perspective and looking at, their position from another perspective, from the other view? A lot of times this can solve a lot of issues that people have, but they don't do it. And then they'll be comfortable in the misunderstanding, you know what I mean? The miscomprehension, which causes things that should be more simple to be complicated, which keeps the problem lingering. So, perspective has many different levels to it. And, it was brought to my attention, recently, trying to solve an issue where, there were several barriers. And one of the main barriers was the perspective, how it was being viewed. Now, in both cases, there were slight variations of misconstruement, you know what I mean? Like they had the facts twisted. And I found myself in the middle of it, because I need to diffuse a situation that doesn't need to exist at all, because it's disturbing life, it's disrupting life, it's causing a distraction that doesn't need to be where it is, and it's going to ultimately boil over and cause a problem that could have been avoided. And this is why I urge people, talk about it. Talk about it. If you can't communicate, don't assume. Do not assume. Do everything you can to find out, as much as you can before you cast a judgment. Because it only takes 30 seconds to do something that you can't undo. And you can't get that time back. So before you think that I got to do this, did you really do everything that you can do to avoid the imminent, the disastrous? So, again, I say, perspective. Perspective is everything, And I just wanted to give a 5-minute chat. So, it's my